I guess I want to just start by saying Happy New Year. Now that I know that this is the real New Year, like I truly feel it is true. And I feel it in my body and it's so much more meaningful. So I'm really so grateful to you already. I don't even know what the forecast that you're going to share today exactly is, but I think that this is like I love that you have such an interest in the transits and in the program and that you're enlightening me with this. So, and everybody else that's watching.
Thank you too for providing me with this opportunity to talk about this and to share the knowledge I have, because I think it is really valuable information for all of us to be aware what is happening.
Absolutely. So, where should we start?
Okay, so I think we should start right away, saying that according to human design, New Year comes when the sun enters the 41st gate on the Rave Mandala, and we have a separate video recorded about that, I guess. And this year, the New Year happens on the 22nd of January at 7:38 or 39 UTC. So today is actually New Year Eve, and today we'll be talking about the conditioning program that this year brings. And this is a kind of a weather focused, showing what forces will be influencing people on both individual and collective levels. And human design provides us with a wonderful tool so that we can see those influences, and we are not caught by all those forces, but rather become conscious observers, being able to navigate challenges ahead correctly as individuals, because the coming year is going to be challenging. I promise you. So, but before we start speaking about the 2023 year program, I'd like to take like one step back and give you a broader perspective of what is happening. According to human design, in 2027, which is in 4 years, we are entering a new global cycle, which is very different from the times we've been living in for more than 400 years. This means our life, lives of our parents, grandparents, grandparents. And we are moving from so-called cross of planning, which is a deeply tribal and collective epoch, to the cross of sleeping phoenix, which is fundamentally individual. And we are in the midst of this transition now. As I said, only 4 years left. And it is a very turbulent time, very turbulent period. There will be a lot of changes happening in the world and inside, within ourselves. Something within our bodies, mutation of the bodies, mutations of how we feel, mutation of our awareness. We are moving to the times where people will be much more sensitive to everything, because it is the mutation of our emotional awareness. So the closer we are moving to the change of the cycle to 2027, the more turbulence we'll face around us. And the world as we know it is changing, transforming, falling apart, leaving behind old patterns of success. And of course, this brings instability and unpredictability.
Natalia and I are co-creating, well, I'm hosting her really, to share a whole master class about this transition. So if you want to know about this 2027 and what is this change from the cross of planning to the cross of sleeping phoenix and what does it really mean, there's quite a bit that goes into it that I'm learning from Natalia, that it's a little bit more in depth than you can really get into in a even an hour. I think it'll probably be up to 2 hours, this master class that we do. So if you want to participate in that, you can just find the link below. We'll put it in below in the comments or in the description box.
As we look at the chart of the year, which is actually a snapshot of planetary transits made at a time when the sun enters 41st gate, we can see immediately two motors of energy. I mean, two centers which are defined. And they are the root center and the solar plexus center, or emotional center as we call it. And this immediately tells us a lot about this year, because it tells us that there will be a lot of energy in the world. We'll feel a lot of energy. The root center is a pressure center, and it tends to bring physical stress. We all may feel a sense of urgency to change, or a drive for stability that may seem like a survival issue, because root center is all about our energy and fuel to actually survive in this world. When it comes to the solar plexus, it's all about waves of feelings and emotions. This means that the whole world will be like moving on the highs and lows of those waves, and sometimes trying not to rock a boat by any means, and sometimes blast with emotions, exaggerating them, making a big thing out of something insignificant. I'd like to have a look at a couple of very strong conditioning aspects that create an overall trend for this particular year, and not only for 2023, but also for a few years ahead. And I'm speaking about Pluto and Neptune transits. Pluto and Neptune are slow planets. For example, Pluto, which is the slowest one, it transits one gate during 4 years approximately. So any theme it brings is a very global theme, and nobody will avoid it. Besides, Pluto is the ruler of our evolution, and it brings transformation in everything it travels through. So now, as you probably know from our previous videos, it is transiting gate 60, gate of limitation. So this brings this energy of limitation and mutation in each and every sphere of our life. And now it is transforming our ability to survive. So this year we'll be observing how step by step the limitation in everything, limitation of resources first of all, and when it comes to the collective field, it's of course it's about financial limitations, limitation of different kind of resources. So we'll be observing how these limitations will be increasing, putting more and more pressure, which will lead to fear and polarization and sometimes depressive mood in the society. Then Neptune. Pluto is working hand in hand with Neptune, and the Neptune is carrying a theme of crisis now. And as I already said, it is also a slow planet. It transits one gate for approximately 2.5 years. So it's also a global theme. And now it is transiting gate 36, gate of crisis. And again, it's a crisis on different levels, from economy and finance to individual emotional crisis. And this year, Neptune brings a specific character of this crisis. This is a tendency to resist the change. When something new is coming, when the world is transforming, and it's a period of uncertainty, of course, unpredictability, we may feel emotionally resistant to the change and look for stability, emotional stability, first of all, and then again, financial stability, and so on and so forth. But the challenge here is that this resistance will only deepen the crisis. As we look at the chart of this year, we will see that there are two channels defined, two channels connecting the root center and the solar plexus center, and they are channel 1949, which is called the channel of synthesis, design of sensitivity, and channel 4130, channel of recognition, design of focused energy. And the energy of those two channels will be strongly present in the collective field, conditioning our minds and our bodies. Channel 1949 is a foundation of communities in our world. It's about the needs of community and the principles of how necessary resources are distributed so that the community as a whole survives. And actually, our whole civilization is built on a fundamental bargain that if we support a bigger, a greater community, a greater group, and stick to its principles, then each of us will have enough resources to survive. And this is how we used to move together. And as we approach in 2027, this is becoming to change, and this fundamental bargain is under the pressure of mutation now, and Pluto is doing its job on this, believe me.
So, so you're saying that because this channel is present as a conditioning force this year, it's not necessarily going to strengthen our bargains. It's actually coming under question because of Pluto and Neptune.
Yeah, it's a mutational process. And as we look at the general trend where the civilization is going, as we approach the new cycle, new global cycle, the trend is that all the communal social support structures will be weakening because we are moving, as I said before, we are moving from communal survival to individual survival. So as I see this channel in the program of this year, as I see Pluto in the 60th, I can definitely say that this year is about the transformation, at least transformation of this bargain, you see, as not about like weakening and actually destroying it to some extent.
I'll just say for anyone that's not aware, but the use of the word bargain is a little bit of human design jargon that's used to describe, like, I will give you this, you give me that. I have 2 apples, you give me $1 in exchange. Or I have 2 apples, you carry this heavy sack up the hill in exchange. And that's what a bargain is. It's a deal. And that's very tribal. So, tribes are all about, I'll do this for you, you do that for me. We support each other. And there's this expectation that goes with that.
Yeah, exactly. As we do our part individually, we expect a support a support back, right? Another example of the bargain is that, for example, if I want to be financially successful in the society, I have to study, I have to go to a university, for example, I have to acquire a certain number of skills, and then find a good job and become well paid. So this is my bargain. I invest in my studies, and then I will get financial support from a company, a governmental authority, whatever I'm working for. So this is also a bargain.
Only if you give at least 40 hours of your time a week.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's the bargain. And we expect in the cross of planning, we always like relied on that. I do my part, they do their part. This is the bargain. This is how we move together to a successful and a safe future. Okay. So, and this year, there is a strong conditioning theme of the cost of the bargain. It will be present in the world. So, as I said, it's a matter of individual freedom versus community, whether it is a family or a country or a company. Is it worth it? What do I get in response? Is the support I'm getting enough for me or not? Because remember, there are limitations. The world is under the pressure of limitations. The resources are diminishing. This is not so easy to distribute equally all the resources, and there will be questions whether the distribution is fair. Because when we have enough or even more than enough, there is no question. Yeah, that's okay. Even if there is something unfair, nobody really cares because I get enough. But as the resources are diminishing, this is becoming a question of survival. There may be a tendency to make a step back, tendency for backlash and resist to change. So we may, in the collective, we may witness fear-driven discussions, disputes about our ways of life and how we survive collectively in the communities and individually. And Pluto and Neptune, with the gate of limitation and gate of crisis, they play a huge role here in how businesses are run, how communities, whole countries are run, how financial flows are run. So all those questions we'll be witnessing this, and we will be conditioned by these themes. When I say our minds will be conditioned by these themes, is that we'll be thinking about all this, and we'll be thinking, what should we do to survive? Should I find another job where they pay more? Should I go and study and get some other skills to be safe in the future in case my, I don't know, the factory I'm working for is closed, will be closed in next year, for example? All these kind of questions, you see. Shall I find a second job to be able to pay my rent? Am I paid enough? Is it fair? How much taxes am I paying? Is the taxation system fair or not? All these kind of questions. This is brought by this channel 1949 this year. Okay, now let us look at the second channel, 4130, channel of recognition, design of focused energy. As we look at it, we are looking at the basis of our human experiential way. This is a fuel of dream and fantasy, to try something new, get into a new experience, go through it, and go through this new experience in order to come to change and progress. But the challenge here is that this impulse for change doesn't actually guarantee expected outcomes.
To me, I look at it like the Fool card in tarot, which is all about you step into something with great hope because you just think, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to go, for example, I'm excited to go to Havana, right? So I feel this illusion or this fantasy about what it will be, my experience. And that's what will have me invest in that, going into the unknown. But of course, when I get there, who knows, I could get dengue fever, there might be an earthquake, I could get pregnant. There's just so many things that could happen that I can't possibly expect that weren't a part of my fantasy.
Exactly, because there is always destiny that interferes our plans and changes everything. So this is why we call it human experiential way. You never know where you will get. So the wisdom here is not to have any expectations, actually. Just go into the new experience, be within this experience, do something, observe, and then as it is over, step back and reflect. And this is the time when you have a chance to look at it and actually realize what it was about, what it brought into the...
Yeah, I would say your evolution.
Yeah, exactly, your evolution. Because this is how we grow. And unfortunately, I would like to say that this year, the global conditioning doesn't go beyond this drive for change. It will not actually bring the desired progress, because we have this fuel to start something new, we have these dreams how our life can become better and how we can change everything, being pressurized by all these limitations, witnessing that the old bargains and old agreements are not working so well as it was before. So we have an idea of how we can come to the change and what this change will be about. But we stop in the 36th gate of crisis. So all the paths will all the ways will lead us to mutation, crisis. I would say we are in the tunnel, but we do not see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, at least this year. So this is quite a challenging year. What I'd like to say is that the forecast we are doing today is just an introduction of the year. This is just to provide you with a general, so to say, taste the year will bring. So what I would like to say, my dear friends, is that navigating this challenging world is not easy. It's really a challenge, and it requires self-awareness. But we have a choice not to be caught by all this global conditioning. Instead, we can be aware and live our individual experiences. And human design provides us with a wonderful tool, which is our inner authority and our strategy. So as we follow them, we have a chance to really move correctly, regardless of the impacts of planets and collective conditioning and everything. So we can navigate our life correctly as individuals, live our unique life, and be aware. And I guess that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you today. The more will come with the detailed forecast.
I have a question for you. How do you seem so happy about these things? Like as you're talking about it, there's almost a joy in you. I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a mystery for me. Maybe one of the reasons is that my design is deeply individual, and individuality is something that always strives for mutation, for something new. Because I understand that along with all this turbulence and unpredictability and crisis and everything, I'll have a great chance. Just imagine how lucky we are that we'll be having this chance to witness such a great change in the world, because the change of these two cycles, this is a huge thing. Yeah, that's that's amazing. That's amazing, and I think that we are really lucky to witness this.
That's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad having this opportunity to talk to everybody about this and really share this amazing information. And I would be really happy if it would be helpful, practically helpful.
You may not know that in 2019 I channeled a book, and part of the book was about the global grand reorganization, and I'm just seeing so much how this human design information is really not optional. It's actually really important for us to be aware of as we navigate these times. So I'm so grateful for Natalia. I'm so grateful for this information and how it's all starting to make a lot of sense, why I've been channeling and why I've been so into human design for so many years. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see what your comments are on this information, and I look forward to seeing you again soon here on my channel. Much love.